Hello again. So back again with another replica belt review. Let me just point out I was thinking of doing a review and then a comparison later on down the line, but I decided to compare these two together because it's pretty much the same belt. So the first belt we have is a replica version, so that's a metallic version of the United States Championship. And we also have a plastic commemorative version, fucking hell, a bit stiff, the belt, of the United States Championship. So you might be able to see they do look exactly the same in terms of the detail, I mean, not the fact that they're the same fucking belt. So I decided to compare these two together rather than do separate reviews because it might just be a waste of time. So yeah, let's take a look at these. Well, after what I said in my last video about I'm really impressed with the way they make belts these days, I'm left here with egg on my face because here we have, I've actually had to sort of label these. So here you have the replica, so that's the metallic one, and here you have the commemorative, the plastic one, and they look exactly the fucking same. There's no sort of like, apart from the plastic and metallic rivets on the back, there's nothing to really differentiate between the two. Even if you sort of knock the material, it sounds exactly the same. This one does feel a bit harder on the finger compared to that one, so that's about it. But very disappointing. But anyway, let's take a look at this. So these are the first versions of the US Championship I've ever owned or seen. So I sort of had a bit higher expectations, really. God, where to start? So yeah, here you've got the WWE and the World Wrestling Entertainment logo. I always liked the flag behind in the background when they first introduced this back in around when was it, like 2003? I don't know. I don't fucking know. Fuck it. You can check that out. There you go. There's a little bit of homework for you. It's not all just me doing the effort. Yeah, I liked that. I thought it was a nice touch. Not a lot of gold on it. You know, if you can think about it, there's more paint. But no, I quite liked it. But I wouldn't want to keep these belts. Right, so anyway. So this was back in the time when they started introducing nameplates into the belts and all that. I don't think that comes off. Ah, well, there are bolts here. We'll have a look at that later, but sorry, excuse my hand. I'm just trying to sort of feel they come off. I think it does actually. There's a bit of a groove right there, but I'm not too sure. Right, so let's take a look. So you've got the logo here, World Wrestling Entertainment. Basic looking paint job there. It's nice paintwork though. It's quite, you know, within the lines, so to speak. United States Champion. Yeah, the paint job's pretty good. I'll give it that. So this is the metallic one, just to remind you. Here you got the side plate. I think there's supposed to be an eagle in there somewhere, so it looks like that's wings and the head. I don't really know how that works out. You got the WWE logo. Here you got the Statue of Liberty. And over here, it's exactly the same, just sort of reversed. I don't know how to continue this, so let's look at the plastic one. So it's exactly the same. I'll get on to why I think this is really disappointing in a minute, but probably you've already seen it. So the paint job does look the same pretty much. I don't think the name... Well, you got the two bolts there on the back, but it doesn't look as if this nameplate comes off. So yeah, there's the thing there. I was actually going to sort of do these separately because I thought there might be a difference, but no, I thought I might as well just do them at the same time because they're exactly the same belt pretty much. Right, so reasons why I think this is disappointing, well, maybe you can already see it. They are completely flat. There is no curve in this belt pretty much whatsoever. There's no sort of detail on that. You'd think maybe the United States Champion font would sort of pop up, but there's nothing there. No sort of detail in between the flags, so like in between the stripes, sorry, so where the gold lines are, I would have thought maybe those would be 3D sort of popping up. Nothing there at all. The WWE logo doesn't pop up. They're just flat. They're what they call flat pieces of shit. If you want to be more blunt about it, flat pieces of shit. So let's look at that. Look, barely anything there, if anything, really. Look at that. And like the plates as well, they look like the old 2mm ones like they had on the original replicas. And this is quite modern because obviously they've got the latest WWE logo on there. So I really can't believe what I'm seeing here. So then, yeah, if we compare it to the plastic one, look, it's exactly the same. There's no difference in detail. No curve in the plate. This is probably, you know, just on name alone, you'd expect this from a plastic version, but not the metallic version like we've just seen. Yeah. Really surprised by that. Considering it's like the US title, you know, WWE are all patriotic and everything, you'd think maybe they'd put a bit more effort into this. I know they're made in China, but they can make other belts well. What have you? That's all I'm going to say. So, cool. Very disappointing. So just measuring the belts themselves, they're exactly the same size. So the length of the strap is about, what was it, 51, 53. I don't know, doesn't really matter. Strap from top to bottom is about 10 inches, and the plate from top to bottom is about 9 inches. Yeah, so, take a look at the straps. So I think they're the same on each one. So on the edge here, you got a bit of stamping here. You got the snap box stitched on the tooling. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitching all the way around the edge of the belt. And it's a bit weird. Here you got WWE Champion. Like, one, I don't think they could fit United States Champion on there or US Champion. But I would have thought maybe they might have left this off and maybe put some other sort of tooling around the edge. Because I don't know if the real ones actually are, but to have WWE Champion on there just feels like it's been hammed up. It's half-assed done. So you got more stamping around here. So this WWE Champion stamp runs all the way around, blah, blah, blah. And you got the other sort of floral, whatever, tooling right there. There you go. That's pretty good. The stamping, sorry. On the edge. And you got the other snap box here. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There you go. Right, so yeah, this one's exactly the same. You have got the WWE Champion stamp there. Blah, blah, blah. There we go. That's all I'm going to do on that. So if we flip these over, the only sort of, apart from the weight, the metallic one is a bit weightier than the plastic one. The only other way to sort of differentiate between the two is the bolts or rivets on the back. So the metallic one does have the metallic screws, and on the plastic one you do have the plastic ones. So like I said, here you got the 2 bolts for the nameplate. It looks like they come out on this one. You do have the metallic bolts here on the plastic one, but I don't think the nameplate comes out on that. It doesn't look as if it does. So that's the only sort of customization you'd get. I don't know where you'd get a nameplate for this now. Maybe some more independent belt selling websites, perhaps. I assume it'll all be the same sizes, that means. Yep, you got the stitched on official merchandise patch here and the WWE logo. It's exactly the same on the commemorative version right here. So yeah, there you go. If you're thinking about picking one of these up, well, I'll give my verdict at the end, but I think it's already fair to say we might sort of, you know, which way this might swing. But anyway, let's sort of take a look at this around the waist. I'll probably only use the metallic one because they're exactly the same belt otherwise. So let's get into that. So here we have the belt. Something I just remembered. I think on one of the versions at least there was a gold tip on one of the ends. So there is no gold tip on either one of these belts. Do a flexibility test. The strap's pretty flexible. So that seems pretty on par. I've got a bit of paper here. Stuck to the strap. Take that off. But yeah, that's pretty good. Right, so let's put this sucker on, see how it fits. Alright, so I'm taking these snaps all the way to the end. Oh, blimey, it's a bit tough. There we go, I'll just leave it at that. Flip it around. There we go. So, pretty snug. If I sort of lean forward a bit, it does feel a bit tight. Maybe it's because of the plate, it's flat. Then again, I could loosen up a bit, but then it might flop around. So, yeah, that's the belt around my waist. I feel like Baron Corbin can't keep still. It's like he's got ants in his bloody pants all the time. He's always moving around. Right, I'm not going to get into that. That's a whole different story. Yeah, so that's that. Some might say it's a bit small. This belt's always looked a bit small anyway. Yeah, so the edges of my sort of abdomen region sort of end about here, obviously where the strap curves around and the plate ends here. So yeah, that's that. So anyway, take that off. So that's the strap down there. It's pretty good, as you can probably hopefully see. Hopefully see. Yeah, let me just grab this other one. So the strap on that, probably about the same. Maybe doesn't look as flexible because there's not as much weight in the plates as this one, perhaps. Flip that over the shoulder. Seems pretty alright. Right, so the final verdict. I don't like these belts, or the replicas, I mean. They are extremely flat. There's no curve in them whatsoever. The paint detail is very good, but the actual sort of detail of the plates themselves, they're not. It doesn't look like they're cast or anything. Very poor compared to some of the replicas that they churn out today. Like, for example, if you compare it to the last one, the Cruiserweight Championship. Ooh, in terms of the detail of the plates, there's no comparison. They look like they're just the 2mm thick plates. They're not even the 4mm, which is like the standard these days usually for the belt. I just couldn't believe it. I had looked at these when I originally got them, which was some time ago now, but I couldn't remember what they look like now. And I'm very disappointed. When I took it out, complete disappointment. So if you did want to get a United States Championship, I would more than likely recommend that you get the commemorative, the plastic one. You'll save yourself a lot of money. It looks exactly the same, and it's lighter to carry around, so it's a bit more practical in that sense. So anyway, guys, yeah, like as usual, if you're thinking about getting any of these belts or whatever, I hope this video has been informative. My opinion, don't get the metallic one, get the plastic one. Or if you want my honest opinion, don't bother with this belt at all because it doesn't look very good on the eye. Right, so that's that, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Please stick around, please, please, please. All that bullshit. If you do, you do. If you don't, then okay. Right, anyway, thanks a lot, guys, and I'll see you then. Bye.